You're listening to Operation Self Reset with Jake Naraki. Let's get it going! What is going on, you freaking awesome people? Welcome back to Operation Self Reset. My name is Jake Naraki, coming to you live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's right, our baseball team is in the playoffs. We're playing the Dodgers as of right now. You're probably thinking to yourself, I don't care about baseball. I want to enhance my life. Well, lucky for you, you're in the right place. And with that being said, I thank you. I appreciate you. I'm in full gratitude of you. Now, if you notice a little pizzazz in my voice, and you probably are thinking in the beginning of the show here, the opening, you're like, Jake, that was too loud. My audio equipment in my car is now broken because you're screaming. Please don't do that. Well, by the way, that was me imitating the individual that had their speakers blown out. So I didn't bring in a guest for that or anything like that because I know you're thinking like, wow, he brought somebody in to say that, but okay, well, whatever. You're probably thinking this is dork time, but it's not. This is about self-improvement time. Now, this show has been going on for the last 4.5 years, and I've kind of taken a little back seat this past summer, and I'm glad I did because I feel invigorated. I feel like Bruce Lee waking up from a nap and ready to kick some behind. Bruce Lee is an individual that knows karate, jiu-jitsu, many other art forms of defending himself. And let's just put it this way, I feel reinvigorated. And because of that, I'm excited to see what the future holds for the show, for you guys, and of course, where do we all go from here? What's the next step? So, with that being said, let's get into the content for today. You did not join this podcast episode or this show in particular to hear about some funny nonsense, but there is some funny nonsense that's going on in your life, and that is called control. Control is one of those things that you and I lack majority of the time. Now, are there times that we are in control? And I'm not talking about control of the car. I'm not talking about the control of our destiny, but I'm actually talking about our control that happens second to second, minute to minute. As in addictions, as in distractions, as in today I'm going to start my diet. Then you walk into work and there's the donuts. And you're like, oh my good God. I never seen donuts look so good in my life. Okay, you know what? I don't need the whole donut. I don't even know the quarter. I just need like the corner, like the end of the Long John, just to taste. Because you know what? I'm in control. I'm doing a diet, and I'm just going to taste it because my body's really craving the sugar. So because my body's craving the sugar, that means I must give it sugar because obviously for some odd reason my body's craving it. So in that moment right there, you took down all of your walls of the I am statements of the getting your game plan and your food plan ready. You got your workout equipment in your car. You're doing all the right things, and you wake up with vinegar running through your brains or your blood, I was going to say. And you're like, all right, I can do this today. Today is going to be the start of something good. And then what happens? You see the little bit of donut and you go, you know what? I'm in control. I deserve a little piece of donut for the beginning of my diet. And so you go in for that little sliver of a diet. And what happens? Maybe not right away, but throughout the day, the wheels start to slowly fall apart. And because you gave yourself that little sliver of a donut earlier in the day, you justify that you can just say, forget it, I'm going to start my diet tomorrow. We've all been there. We've all done that. And if that example doesn't relate to you specifically, I'm pretty sure that there has been things or events that you have come into that you were really excited to do that new thing, that I'm going to start thinking positive. I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to do the gossip thing. I'm not going to smoke. I'm not going to do drugs. I'm not going to drink alcohol. I'm going to only listen to good podcasts. I'm only going to read books. I'm going to turn off Netflix. The control. And what happens? We lose control. There's a great song out there. It's one of my favorites. It's called Lose Control. And the whole essence of the song is how things get out of control, hence the name of the song, and hence here we are talking about control. But regardless, how do we control thyself in a moment when we're at our weakest? Now, before I can answer that question, I want to give you guys a very simple answer to a very complex issue. I was listening to a very good individual that's highly regarded in the world of narcotics. And that individual has been addicted to a whole slew of different types of stuff. He got off of it. He became a great individual, created a business, created a nonprofit. He's helping millions of people. He's making millions of dollars a year. Every dollar he receives, he gives away. I mean, the guy is awesome. And people bring him all around the country, all around the world, and they ask, how did you get past your addictions? How did you get past your habit of putting bad things into your body? And he says it's simple as this. Everybody has the ability to stop whatever they want to stop. And everybody wants to know the secret to how did I stop doing whatever drugs I was doing. And he said, I closed the lid on the pill container. I placed it onto my kitchen table. And I said, I'm never going to open that pill bottle again. And everybody in that audience that was expecting him to say something iconic, something like crazy and like unbelievable, like, oh my God, I never thought of that, or okay, I'm going to write that down, go, really, that's it? You just put it on your table and you decided that that was it, that was the end of it? And the guy said, yeah. And he goes into this wormhole or rabbit hole of basically understanding that we all have the choice. We all have choices in our lives. And the only thing that gets in the way of our choices is not our true mind, but is the mind of the addicted individual. It's the person that we justify with and battle with and negotiate with and analyze with and critique with that gets in front of our true life choices. And he says all of us have the ability to close that bottle on that, or close the top on that pill bottle, and to do what we do best, and that is to make the right decisions for thyself. And it's interesting and very simplistic, and you're probably thinking to yourself, Jake, I'm looking for a 10-step process. I'm looking for something a little more deeper than that. And I think that's really valid. I think that's really good. There are individuals that can understand what I just said and go, I get that. I can do that. There are other individuals that go, there's no way I can do that. And for each their own, right? I mean, that's why there's a million different podcasts on the topics of personal development. There are a million different books. There's a million different shows. And as we know, it goes on and on and on, right? But when it comes to control, you need to understand that you are in control. You, thyself, you have that ability. The only person that is pushing the pills down your throat or making you eat the donut, having that drink, turning on the TV, going on the naughty websites, doing inappropriate things with your off time, maybe vandalism or spray painting, and you think it's creative, is you. Is you. Now, you're thinking to yourself, this is really DUMB. I should turn this stuff off. But don't. Because this is more of a realization. And I believe the universe works in really weird ways. I believe things happen for a reason. And somehow, some way, by me thinking of this topic in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in my home, at my desk, writing this out, and explaining it to you via this headset that is going into my computer, going through the interweb, and dispersing throughout the world, it's coming to you right here, right now, for this exact reason of me telling you that you're in control. Control. You're in control. You're in control. Whatever it is that you choose that you want to do, you make that decision. It's not somebody else that you negotiate within your own psyche. It's not somebody that you barter with and think, well, you know what, I've done a good job. I think I can have that little sliver, or I can do that one little thing, or whatever the case may be. No, you are in control. The problem is, a lot of us forget that we're in control. And we think the craves, the twitches, the itch, the blinded by the light is in control, but in reality, we are. There's a very simplistic way to look at the way that you live. If you want to be good at something, you need to do it over and over until you're a master at it. Warren Buffett is a phenomenal stock trader. He wheels and deals stocks all the time. He doesn't get very emotional on many things. The one thing he does religiously, he reads all the time, he figures out what the markets are doing. But beyond that, he has his own kind of guidelines of how he runs and operates his life when it comes to stock market. Now, he has other habits and ideas that may fit your lifestyle or they may not, but regardless, the guy has made a lot of money on the stock market listening to simple principles that you and I both can replicate in our own life in our own way. He has a plan for when the stock market goes down. He has a plan for when the stock market goes up. He has a plan when the stock market is kind of dribbling between a couple dollars plus or minus on certain days. He knows what needs to be done. The question is, do you have plans put in place when your life takes a turn for the worst? Do you have plans in place for when things are looking bright and sunny? And the chances are you're not, because you're distracted just like everybody else. You have a million things going on. You're quote unquote busy, just like everybody else. I'm busy. How's life? I'm busy. Where you been lately? I've been busy. What are you doing this weekend? I'm busy. How was your weekend? Well, I was really busy. What are you doing for the holiday season? It's going to be busy. Everybody's busy. We all get that. But the question is, are you really in control? And when you do sacrifice your diet, when you do sacrifice your goals, when you do sacrifice the person that you want to become for something else that is not going to assist you in that journey, in that way of living, what is your plan? Now, you may be thinking, how do we fill out that plan? How do we go about it? If you catch yourself in a low moment, you catch yourself eating, you catch yourself turning on Netflix, you catch yourself not being in control, you need to figure out how to get back into control. You need to figure out how to get back into the driver's seat so you can move in the right direction that you want to go in. To become what it is that you want financially, enjoy, love, health-wise, career-wise, you need to be in control of those decisions. There's a lot of great resources out there. Number one way to totally get back in control is to be in gratitude. When you're in gratitude state, you're clear and conscious, right? You're clear and conscious. When you're clear and conscious, you understand the path that you want to go. It basically lifts the fog off the path so you can see the journey ahead. If you can see the journey ahead, you can prepare for the twists and the turns, the ups and the downs. When you don't see that, the fog comes back in. You have no idea where you're going to be walking. Next thing you know, you're walking up a hill or down a hill. You're walking in a puddle because you couldn't see it. That is number one, gratitude. A practice, a simple idea, a quote, something that gets you into the frame of reference of what you have is good. It may not be the best. It's not exactly what you always planned for. It may not be even be close of where you idealistically identify yourself, but it gets you in the right frame of reference to make you understand what you have is exactly what you need right here, right now to move forward in the next step. Number two, cold shower. If you want to test your control, a cold shower, cold bath, cold anything. Now, fortunately, I live here in the Midwest. In Wisconsin, we have very cold winters, so I embrace the cold a lot. I take my dog out walking when it's below zero, when it's snowing out. I challenge myself for those times that would be easy for me to give up. But if you're looking for something that you can do on a regular basis in your own private home, that would be to take a cold shower. By taking a cold shower, number one, it puts you in the driver's seat. You understand that when you jump in the shower, probably you're going to have it nice and warm. You're going to, do your hair, you're going to wash the body, and then for the last 30, 45 seconds, you're going to crank that bad boy to 100% cold water. Now, as we know, cold water isn't like they've been chilling it downstairs in your basement or in the water lines for the last hour knowing that you're going to have a cold shower. A cold shower is just water that is below ground, so it's going to be cooler than the water that you've been spraying on your body. Not necessarily it's going to be water that is ice cold, that literally it freezes as it comes out. Obviously not, but it's going to be colder than what you're used to. By doing this, number one, it puts you in control, makes you analyze and realize that you're going to do this and you're going to force yourself to do it. Number two, there's a lot of great research that has been put into the path of doing cold showers and understanding that by doing a cold shower reduces cortisol, it reduces inflammation, allows you to have better circulation, and it naturally awakens the body because obviously it's probably cold as all heck, but it's a really good way to help your body health-wise, but also to strengthen the control muscle inside of your mind and inside of your body. Because control is nothing more than resistance. And resistance is the same when you work out. The only way to get stronger is to have resistance from either pushing or pulling or having gravity having gravity work against you, whatever you're doing, to have those muscles be strained, even rip a little bit, micro rips and tears, so it can regrow bigger and stronger. The same with your control muscle. The only way to get better at being in control is to have resistance, is to have that internal battle, is to see that person bring the donuts into work and going, I'm not that type of person that's eating a donut today. You know what? I'll have my cheat day in 2 weeks after I do a phenomenal job of losing X amount of pounds or, weightlifting X amount of days, running X amount of days, or whatever the case is. And you can fill in your own perfect example there to make it applicable to your lifestyle. But the only way to get back in control is to have resistance. If you can have resistance, you can get stronger. The stronger you get, the better you will be. Because we all know that individual that has, quote unquote, the perfect life, the perfect body, the perfect mind, the perfect business, the perfect financial situation, perfect relationships, perfect love, perfect joy, perfect happiness. But we all know that's not true because once we achieve something in our life, we always want that something to be more of something. And so we try to go more. But if you're looking at the iconic individuals that you think are quote unquote perfect, somehow, some way, you can think of them as having great control at something. If they have amazing physique, they have great control of what goes into their mouth. If they have a great business, they have great control on other distractions that are holding them back from excelling their business. If they have a great relationship, they have great control of holding their emotions and not letting things blow out of proportion when it could jeopardize the relationship. If you're able to control the things that are needed and wanted in your life, you will be able to be quote unquote successful. And something that I've been saying since day one, success necessarily doesn't mean financial gain, to have the glitz and the glamour, to be famous, but to be successful, whatever asset and if whatever jar it fills you up in, it will be beneficial for you to get back into control and to control those things that are holding you back. Number one, gratitude. Number two, cold shower. Number three, resistance. Embrace resistance. As the military says here in the United States, embrace the suck. You know it's going to stink. You know it's going to hurt. You know you're going to be irritated. You know it's going to be quite the bear, but it will work out for you because you're in control. You embrace the resistance. And when you do that, great things will happen to you in your lifestyle. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys full-heartedly. I thank you for your time. If there's anything I can do for you guys, please let me know. Send me an email, jake@operationselfreset.com. And or if you'd like to show some love to the OSR world, please go to iTunes, leave a review. The more reviews, the better. It would greatly serve myself. I would appreciate connecting with you guys and see how I can help. Please join me every single Wednesday for Operation Self Reset. My goal is to bring the energy, the pizzazz, and the awesomeness to you guys, to bring a little smile, maybe an awkward smile, or maybe just a little head shaking going, what the heck is this guy on? Well, if you're wondering what I'm on, I'm high on life. And speaking of control, to bring you into my own personal world, I am trying to do 15 days, 15 days of caffeine free. It sounds too easy. Well, getting rid of caffeine is not as easy as you think, but it is a great little challenge I'm giving myself. Yeah, I could do it for longer, sure, but I enjoy drinking coffee. I mean, come on. So I am just making sure that I am still in the driver's seat and control, and I would love to know what you're trying to be in control of in your own life. And hopefully we can do this together. So with that being said, go out there, be freaking awesome. If you know somebody that could use a little bit of awesomeness, make sure to share this podcast with them. Until next week, Wednesday, we'll see ya.